Welcome back, everybody. We're going to jump on into part 4 of our series here while part 3 is rendering in the background. Hopefully nothing blows up. So we're going to go ahead and jump into DDO, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use smart materials for my basic material, and then like our next part we might do some, I want to add sorry about that, excuse me. So in our next part I want to then add emissives and opacity maps to it, and then probably in our final DDO video we'll go ahead and do some maybe some altering and some extra weathering or things like that, and then finally we'll put it into Unity. So yeah, I know way back in part 1 I said, hey, this is going to be 5 parts, and now it's turning into like 8 parts, but really all I'm doing is just kind of spreading out the information a little bit further than I was going to. So I've got DDO ready to go, my project creator's ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and select my mesh, which is going to be our security console object or OBJ file that we exported back in video 2 coming out of Maya. My material ID, now I've got the color map that I made based on Maya that Maya baked, but then I've got my color map NDO that I made based upon my normal mapping information. So I'm going to use my color map NDO. Go ahead and add that one in. For my material ID. And then for my normal map, so I'll go ahead and go to my normal map. I've got the normal I baked out of Maya, but inside my NDO folder I have this security console normal that we made in NDO on top of what we baked out of Maya. So I'm going to go ahead and select that folder. Ambient occlusion. To be honest with you, I don't know how to bake ambient occlusion out of Maya 2017 currently. I know that in the past we could use the Maya to Mental Ray plugin, but now that Mental Ray is not a part of Maya 2017, I'm not sure how to do it with Arnold, and I ended up deciding I'm just not going to worry about it for now. So I'll just, in fact, there's a way here inside Quixel to create our ambient occlusion maps based upon our normal stuff. So I would almost rather have my ambient occlusion created by Quixel because it's got this extra information that wasn't in our Maya file. I'm going to have this curvature map created by 3Do. My resolution is all auto set based upon my image file, so it's set to a 2K. I want to change or make sure that my export target matches what I'm going to be putting this in. I'm going to be putting it in Unity 5, and I will be using the metalness workflow. So I've got that set up like so. I'm going to save this in my texture set folder inside my security console like so. And we are good to go. So let's go ahead and do a create. And it's going to take a minute while 3Do bakes these maps back here, and it kind of gives me my starting point of everything I need. And then once we have those, we will quickly throw in some smart materials and be ready to move on from there with our emissives and our opacity map coming after that. And then finally we can possibly return to this and maybe add some little extra details to it here and there if we want to. It could be that we're perfectly content with what the smart materials do, but odds are we might want to do some changing. So let's go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to bring up 3Do like so. Here we go. And once it's up here, eventually, there it is. I'm going to make this mesh centric, and the reason I'm doing this, as I hold down the Alt and left mouse button to rotate, notice that it's rotating around a point that's not the mesh itself. So I'll make this mesh centric so that my mesh is in the middle there. I'm going to hold down Shift, right mouse button to rotate my camera around. Then I'm going to go see what's wrong with my dog. Okay, so apparently we have some people here to see my son. So yeah, they don't want to see me. So let's go ahead and, so I'm here in 3Do. I went ahead and rotated my light a little bit. I'm going to, sorry, I'm going to hold down Control-Shift-C, make sure I'm in 3Do, there we go, and I can see all of my materials right there. So let me zoom in on this a little bit more so I can better select things. Control-Shift-C, and I'm going to start with this big blue one, which is my base. So I'll just click on that, which will bring up my smart material selection here. I'm going to go into metal, and I kind of want a painted metal. This like eroded painted steel I think is what I'm going to use. The abandoned car is kind of tempting. Old container, no. What are you? Rusted dual layered painted steel. No, this isn't. I'm just going to do this eroded painted steel guy right here. Let's do a create on that and let that drop in there real quick. And I think I'll go ahead and change the color on it. I don't really want it to be red. Not that red's a bad color. No, I'll leave it red. Oh, it's loading. Okay. For a moment there, I thought maybe it had just like died. But apparently it's loading. There we go. Okay, so I've got my base. So like this dirt mask that's going down inside those borders, I'm gonna want to work on that when later on. I'm pretty sure. I don't really want that to look quite like that. I want more of the red in there than that. And that is being caused by this dynamask. You see that bright red, or bright red, yeah, right. You see that bright white right in there? Well, anywhere you see white when you're looking at these dynamasks, that's where this, whatever it is being applied. And anywhere you see black, that's where it's not being applied. So where that bright white is, around this border area right here, that's where this dirt color is being heavily applied. So I'll probably just edit that dynamask and kind of get rid of that so that I get more of that, but not right this minute. We'll do that in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and let's go back. I want this eroded painted steel. Let's change this name. I'm going to call this panel base because I think that's a good name for it. Panel base. I'm going to go ahead and save. Just because I sometimes kind of worry about crashing Quixel. I've managed to do it quite a few times. Not that it's an unstable program or anything. It's just I tend to do things that are probably dumb on my part. So I like to save things a lot. So let's go back into Quixel, or into our panel-based group right there. And I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. And no, I'm not going to do that editing now. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that now or if I want to just kind of... But let's come back to it. Yeah, we'll come back to that, but that's definitely going to be changed. Okay, so back in 3D, let's go Control Shift C, hold C down. Let's do our window up here. So I'm going to select that window, and the material I want for this is going to be a dark. I'm sorry, not a dark, a glass. Let's just type glass. Hit enter. And I want this dirty glass, and it's going to have smudges on it and stuff like that, which are going to be really nice. So let's hit create and give it just a second, and we're going to see this smudged glass that's going to show up there. That is going to have the quality that I want. Now I could have, in my color map, I actually could have put a grid pattern there and put wires inside my glass, which might have been a nice thing to do, but I didn't. So there you go, you can see our glass. And looking at this, our edges, you see that bright white, that's where we're getting this really dark edged area right there. If I don't want that, I can tone that down in my Dynamask. Or I can change my color right here. You know, there's a lot of things that I can do about that. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's go back, get out of that group. So this dirty glass is going to be my window. I'm going to go ahead and try to name my groups as I'm going along. Let me save my project again. I know I haven't done much, but let's save it anyway. And then I'll do a Control Shift C over here. Control Shift C. Let's grab our LCD screen. This is going to be another glass. This will be another dirty glass, like so. Create. Which should come out looking halfway decent down there in just a moment. There we go. And you can see we have like a little bit less of a border going on down there versus up there. So let's back out of here. This is going to be my LCD screen. There we go, LCD screen. And next up, let's do our keypad. So back in 3D, Control Shift C, grab my keypad. And I'm going to put a plastic on this. I would like some aged plastic or dirty plastic or something like that. I've got an old plastic that might do. Maybe that's... I would kind of like a worn one. This worn grainy plastic looks nice. Yeah, see, I kind of like that versus... Yeah, I like that one too. Either one could work. What else do we have? Dirty ABS plastic. That one looks kind of nice. Worn ABS plastic. Polymer. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just go with like this old plastic right here, I think. Or this, I'm gonna go with this dirty ABS plastic. So I'm gonna create that and get that placed on my buttons right there. There we go. So that shows up kind of nice. I'm liking that. And if I wanted these numbers to be like a different color within that, I can use my color map to kind of add some color information to that, and still keep it as that same plastic, which is pretty nice. Let's go back. Okay, yeah, that keypad looks pretty good there. So I'm going to call this keypad, like so. Then let's go ahead and grab our nameplate down here. So Control-Shift-C. And I want the nameplate right there. And this is going to be a bare metal. But which bare metal? I want like an aluminum. This is an old aluminum. Can probably add some scratches and some dirt to it in our later steps if we wanted. Stained steel. So yeah, I'm going to go with this old brushed aluminum because the nameplate is just like this really light aluminum thing. So let's create that. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we'll go back. I'm going to rename that to be my nameplate, if it lets me. There it goes. Nameplate. And now I just want to add my screws and rivets material. So let's save project again really quick. Over here in 3Do, we'll do a Control-Shift-C. I'm going to select the screw material there. This is also going to be a bare metal, but this time I'm going to go with this stained steel one right here. And so with that stained steel, I'll hit create on that. Like so, like so. Alright, there we go. So now we've got our base thing here. Let's see, we're like 13 minutes into this. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of weathering on this, a little bit of adjusting to some of these things, and then we'll get it ready to go on to our next step. So first thing I want to do is this border right around that border area on the window. I want to change that. So let's change this to screws and rivets. There we go. Okay, so down here in my panel base, I'm going to go ahead and go down into that group, and for my dirt, I'm going to click on the Dynamask and I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to edit this in not full shaded but just the black and white, partly because that'll be a little quicker, but also because I know what it is I want to edit. I just want to kind of edit and fuzz out this that black line right there is really what I'm after. So let's zoom in some here. Oops, I can't zoom in on 3Do, but I can over here. So let's see. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. Let me get a, let me do it over here. Let me change my brush size. Right, here's my brush size. Let's drop our brush size down. Let's try, keep going. Let's try something like that. Now I'm willing to let it go down into this black part of this window, simply because that window is actually being affected by a different material, so it doesn't really change what's going on here. Let's see. Maybe have a slight fall off on it. Okay. Let's now right here is whether I want how thick I want to paint. I'm gonna maybe something kind of middle ground there. Do I want to paint white or do I want to paint black? Well, I'm wanting to paint black on this, so I'm going to leave that over towards black. And I can also change my brush right here. This basic brush really is what I want, so I'm just going to stay with this basic brush, and we'll look at the others in a little more detail later. So let's see, let's zoom in here, move this, and okay, I'm going to need apparently a bigger brush because that's not really doing what I want. So let me get a slightly, or let me just increase my opacity on it. Let's decrease the opacity, and yay, my other video is now on YouTube. Let's increase our size. Let's go to about a 60. And like, I'm willing to leave some of this information here. I'm not really trying too hard to like paint anything specific, so I'm just kind of I'm just running over it and letting it do whatever it does. But I really definitely want to soften this. I don't want it to be that white. Let's see, maybe this corner is going to be kind of a little bit messier. There we go. That corner's collected some dirt. Doesn't make much sense to me to have the top edging collecting a lot of dirt. So I think I'm going to try a little bit harder to have this top part, a whole lot less dirty. All right. So let's see what that did to it. So we've got that edited. Let's come on back here. Do a quick refresh here. Okay, it's not updating it. I should have a little box right here that says, accept your Dynamask, accept mask. I'm not seeing that. I'm wondering if I accidentally canceled it when I came back out here. Yeah, I don't have a save option up there. Oh, there it is. Haha, it's hiding back there. Found it. Right here, accept mask. So let's click that guy. Or let's at least, like pretend we're going to click it. There we go. Clicked it. So that's updating that, and let's see what it does. And you see how that changed all that. You can see right here where I left it really white, we're getting good dirt there. Now I can go ahead and edit this some more if I wanted to, but I'm liking that a whole lot better than what I had before. I think I want to change this one up just a little bit as well, so that one's not quite as dirty, I guess you could say. So let's click Edit Dynamask. No, just the white one will work fine for me because I kind of see what it is I'm after. Let's see, this brush is too big. I'm going to drop my brush size, 62. Let's drop it down, 35. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing. I'm not really worrying too much about how it's coming out. I'm just like softening, altering just a little bit. In fact, the less specific I'm being about it, perhaps the better it'll come out, because that's adding in some oddness, some patterns, or it's removing patterns is what I'm trying to say. I'm just not saying it really well. Let's see, there we go. I'll let that same corner be kind of a little bit thicker. Okay, let's paint along here. There we go. Let's accept that mask. Let that update there. That looks better. I like that. Let's zoom out some. Control minus. Nope, control minus doesn't work here because this is Photoshop. I mean, this is 3Do. Let me do some tweaking up here with these guys. So let's go back. Let's look at our screws and rivets. Let's go into that group. And I noticed that we've got a dirt. Okay, yeah, the dirt's fine and whatnot, I guess. But let's edit this Dynamask. And I'm also going to do this one in just the regular mode there. Now, I'd really like to edit the top of that one. So it's kind of like a dirt splat is what it ended up doing. Let's try some rust on it. Let's try this surface rust on it instead. Okay, what does that look like? Let's accept that mask. Yeah, that looks better. That's closer to what I wanted. I'm going to change my color of this. Let's try making this maybe a little bit, let's try going in that direction. Let's just see what that does, if anything. Yeah, see how it's borrowing some from the background there a little bit. We'll zoom back out. Oh, control minus still doesn't zoom out, but that does. Yes, that's what I wanted out of those. That looks better. Okay, now I want to come down here. I want to do something to this panel down here. Looks like fingerprints on it. That's pretty cool. Let's see, nameplate. Let's go into its category here. So this is brushed aluminum. Let's add. Let's see. Let's try adding a clean layer to this. And for its Dynamask, no, I don't need. I mean, yes, I do want the quick editing. That'll be fine. Where am I? I'm over here. Dirt, top fumes, sun bleach. Color variation large, flaked paint. Let's see what this color variation does to it. Let's accept that. And actually, now that I think about it, I should be doing it in the full mode. Okay, that's not bad. Let's try. Let me darken this up a little bit. What do we have going on there? Okay, darken it up a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to keep darkening it. Alright, I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. Let's edit it a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and click that Dynamask, and this time I'm going to do it in full shaded mode. And I'm going to actually use some of my brushes inside here and kind of add some extra oomph to this. I'm going to be painting in white, so I'm going to turn this up to white right there, and that's a good brush size, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Let's go ahead, and in my brush I want to change this to what do we have in decay? Nah, drops, no, although some of those are pretty cool. Experimental, hair, fur, ink blots, leakage. What's that going to look like? Yeah, I want something like this. I want like this one. And I want to actually increase my brush size. Something like that, yeah. Alright, let's see what this does. So I'm just going to paint across there. Yeah, not liking that at all. A little bit too much. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to go ahead and cancel that and just go back to what I had. Okay, so that was definitely too thick there. Didn't like that at all. So let's play around with this again. Let's drop our opacity. Let's bring this up to more white. Drop my opacity a little bit more. Change the brush. Let's go ahead and, I mean, I like that one, but let's go with, not drops, let's go with decay. And let's try maybe, oh, I don't know, what do you think? Let's try like that one. And in fact, actually, let's do something else. Let me cancel out. Boink. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and let's add another layer. And in this layer, I'm going to go ahead and apply some of that kind of orange dirt color that we're using in various places. Maybe something a little darker. Now let's try something like that, lighten it up. Maybe something about like that. Let's try that out. Let's edit our dynamask real quick, and we're going to do this full, yes. And the first thing we're going to do to this is we're going to make it all black, like so, which means none of that color is being applied to it, none of that rusty color that we have there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to be painting roughly whitish. Anything that's white is then going to have this color. Opacity looks good. We'll use that damage brush right there. Yeah, let's see here. Let's increase our opacity because I don't think it's coming out really strong. Let's increase our color, get closer to white. There we go. I can start seeing discoloration coming in there now. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're starting to get some of that showing up. Okay, and we've still got some of this detail coming from that one, and we've still got the brushed metal coming through down there, so yeah. Let's see my top edges here. I'm going to kind of dumb those out here, as well as my sides. Okay, let's go ahead and accept that mask. And that has added some discoloration onto that, so we can, here in 3D, let's go ahead and, okay, 3D, there it goes. 3D wasn't letting me do a whole lot. There. So you can see how we've got some of that yellow coloring coming in on there. Pretty nice. Alright, let's see, maybe a couple more things here. Let's do something to our keypad just a little bit. Our keypad, let's go into here, and well, we've got a nice dirt, we've got a nice damage. So I'm almost not even sure what more to add to this, really. Let's go to our, in fact, I think I'm going to leave, no, let's add something else to this. Let's add another layer to this, and I think I want to use this same dirt color, which is 64, 53, 42, or something near it. 63, let's come up here. 64, 53, 42, you know, something near that. Maybe get a little bit more in our, this like yellowy color that I've gotten to where I'm starting to use. Let's go ahead and add that. Let's go to our dynamask. Let's edit this in full mode, and we're going to lay on top of this, on top of our dirt layer, let's go ahead and lay a, I don't know, a something else. A oh, what else might we want to add to this? What's this top fumes do, or this sun bleach? What's sun bleach do? Ah, there we got some interesting discoloration going on there. Let's do that. Let's accept that. And I want this to, yeah, it's a lighter color for sure. There we go. Yeah. Added just a smudge, just a little bit more detail to that. Last thing, I don't think I'm buying this this thing around the glass as well. So I'm going to go to my window. Let's go into its subgroup right there. This edges right here. Let's edit its dynamask. You know what, let's go ahead and do it full mode so you can actually see this real time here. And what I'm thinking is that if I can just like soften it a little bit, I actually think I'd be okay with that. So I'm just going to paint in here. Yeah, I'm going to use not all black, kind of a grayish color, something like that. I'm going to use my basic brush. Yeah, that one. And that size is going to be way too big. Let's see what this does. It's not doing much yet. Let's go ahead and drop that down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and increase our opacity. Really, I thought I changed my brush. Did I not change my brush? Oh, I didn't. I just looked at it and thought really seriously about it. There we go. Okay, you can see it's getting it's changing how this is showing, which is really what I'm after. I do want some of that edging. I just don't want it quite as pronounced as it was. Is really all I'm trying to do. Is I just want to soften that a little bit. Okay, let's start going this way now. Alright, let's go up there. Okay, let's accept that. Right back here, let's accept that mask. And we'll kind of wait for 3D to catch up with me here just a little bit. Alright, let's come back out. There we go. That looks much better. I've still got edging going on, but it doesn't look as fogged as it did. Alright, yeah, I like this. This is pretty nice. I do want to darken this thing up a little bit. So let's go back to... let's save everything we've got so far. So let's save our project. There we go. And I want to go to my nameplate. Let's go down into there, and I just want to kind of darken this. I'm going to change the color of my old brushed aluminum. Let's try that. Let's darken that. Let's see how this comes out. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I was after. That'll do. Yeah. Nice, simple, subtle change. Okay, all right, so I'm basically done with DDO as far as my basics here. So next up, we're going to create an emissive and opacity map. This is going to glow green, this is kind of going to glow yellow, and this is going to be see-through. And then after that, we're going to get all of these things ready for Unity. There's a couple minor things we got to do on some of our maps, and then we're going into Unity with it. So DDO is now out of our way, and we'll see you in the next one.